So let's have a little bit of soapbox time. I think it's very important to be very clear when explaining ancient places and not to grab too tightly to a particular narrative. If you really think about a lot of the shows where they are giving information about some sites, that information is very selectively curated. And it's curated to tell a particular narrative, the story that they want to communicate, which isn't always necessarily the entire tale. Where possible, it's great if you can see the places yourself. I love to come and visit them because there's so much more to see. There's so much more of the story, the real story, that you can get from actually being here. And time on television is certainly limited. They want to show a specific thing, but they also narrate to prove a particular point. And you should not exclude the other information. Frequently, when I actually come to a site and I think about what I've heard or what I've seen represented about a site, critical information has been left out. And that information many times makes the narrative that they're trying to tell you about in the story completely fall apart. Once you see the complete picture, once you see all the information, what they're selling isn't always the truth. And it's great to hear a fun story, to be inspired by these wonderful ancient places, like I am constantly, and wanting to see them. But I think it's a little unfair to the public to present it in such a way that isn't always the reality. Some classic characters that particularly point out a various viewpoint, Graham Hancock and Ancient Aliens and various other shows. Here we are at the Greenstone of Hattusa, and I just want to say something about archaeologists in general. There's no big archaeology. I've worked with them. They are a very chaotic bunch of people. They're not trying to sell this particular line, and the academics and the traditional people in the field of archaeology and history are not trying to sell a particular narrative. So when they say mainstream archaeologists, there isn't really such a thing as mainstream archaeologists. So there's no big archaeology setting a narrative, trying to deceive or anything. They're truth seekers. They want to find things. They do make assumptions, they do make theories, and then they go out and try to prove them. But there isn't some organization trying to sell a particular story on anything. So there's no big archaeologist, there's no mainstream archaeologists, there's not a cabal of them trying to create some history that all of us must follow. But we should also trust experts in the field to do work that is quality work, that is truth-seeking work, and not just spin narratives without any backup, without any history, without any information and scientific study. That is still important. And yes, things change. Theories change. But we can't expect that there is a cabal trying to drive a particular mainstream architecture, mainstream archaeologist, or historian narrative. That does not exist. So where possible, do your own research, get to the sites where you can. Hopefully, when I'm presenting my videos to you, I'm giving you a lot more information, more complete information, and I'm not telling a particular narrative that suits my viewpoint. I'm showing you as much as possible of the site that I can, giving you as much information as I possibly can that is verified, that is archaeology, that is proper architecture, as well as my own viewpoints, of course. But I'm not trying to sell you on a particular story. I'm trying to educate you as much as possible with what I can do and with the skills that I have and the eyes that I have, looking at the things that I have. So I really hope you enjoy the videos, and that was my little soapbox. So be careful when you're watching something. Get inspired. Yes, keep watching the shows that show these wonderful places. But if you are interested, there's so much more to them, so much more magic that they're not even telling you about. So do your research and explore the world as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching the videos. I hope you really enjoy them. If you do, please like and subscribe. Until next time, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye from Turkey. And the power of the greenstone be with us all.